Hello, beautiful people. It's your girl Gine again, and it's Gine's Signatures. So today I'll be making this beautiful wrap gown. This is very beautiful, even though my client wanted hers to be sexy. My client is a sexy client. She wanted hers more open, so I'm going to be showing you how you can do this exact, and then how you can make it a little bit sexy. So that was the inspiration, and this is the one I made. It came out very beautiful, and I used a crepe fabric, and I made use of 3 yards of fabric because the length is by 60. So if this is what you're interested in, please kindly watch till the end, and don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to like, and don't forget to share. What I love most about this was the sleeve, and I was happy that it came out very beautiful. It came out very, very beautiful. Yeah, and this material was just the right fabric for the style. Yeah, I'm going to be making one for myself because this is too beautiful not to make it for oneself. So feel free to try yours and let's see how it goes. So this is the back view. You can see how beautiful it looks. Yeah, so like I said, thank you to all my amazing subscribers. God bless you all. And please kindly share it to your family and friends so that they will learn one or two things from this. Yeah. So thank you all. And so without wasting further ado, or without wasting further time, I'll be getting over to cutting off this beautiful piece shortly. So thank you all. And so for this tutorial, I'll be making use of a paper first. I'll be drafting it on the paper so that it will be easy for us to transfer, because if you draft it directly on your fabric, you're going to be wasting a whole lot of fabric. So in order to avert that, I'm going drafting this on the paper. So I have my folder paper folded into two, and like the usuals, just divide your bust measurement by 4 if that is your biggest part for your from your shoulder to your half length. Divide into 4, and then you had your sewing allowances. That was what I did before I got what I was on fold. And then I've gotten my shoulder measurement divided by 2, and then I added up an inch because of course this will be having a sleeve. And then I came down for my armhole depth, which was 8 inches, and I ruled that out. So now what I'm getting is my shoulder slope, and then for the neck width of this tutorial I'll be making use of 3.5 inches. So I'll be slowly slanting down my shoulder slope like so. So I'll be cutting out the back first and then cut it out on the fabric before making necessary adjustments for the front piece. Now I'm getting the midpoint of this, my armhole, and then just like the way we usually do it. So if you can draft a basic bodice very well, just go ahead and do that. So for the back neck depth, I'll be making use of 1 inch, and then I'll be connecting that. So I have my back neckline ready. So I'm dividing my bust measurement by 4, and that gave me 10.5, and then I'll be adding 1.5 inches for my sewing allowance. So half an inch will be for ease, and then the 1 inch will be for the sewing allowance. And then I'll be carving out my armhole like so. So I'll be making use of my free hand. So I'm carving out, this is for the back armhole. And so I'll just go to my waist measurement. So for the waist measurement, I'll be making use of a dart for the back, but I'll not be putting that in the front. But if you want to do put your dart in the front as well, you can go ahead and do it. But I just feel like it's a wrap, so there's no need to put the dart in the front because you can tie it to fit as you would want it. But for the back view, I think I would advise you make use of that. So I'll be dividing my waist measurement by 4, add my dart allowance of 1 inch, and then 1.5 inches for sewing allowance. So that is what I got there. So we are basically through with the back, and then I've gone ahead to use this to cut out my back piece off camera. So I'll be adding for this, I'll be adding my shoulder slope, shoulder joining allowance for the shoulders, I beg your pardon. And so for this front, I'm not even through, yeah. I just want to get my dart just to show you how to get your dart. So just divide your bust band measurement by 2 and then you rule that out. You mark it on your waistline and then you come on your bust line and then you mark that as well. So just remember that you come down by 1 inch from your bust line to do that. And then you take your half inch because you made use of 1 inch for your dart. That was the allowance you factored in when you were taking your measurements. And then you're going to be connecting it like so. So that is basically our dart for the back. So now I'll just like cut this out and then place it on my fabric and cut out the back piece. Like I said, I did this off camera, as in cut out the back piece off camera. Yeah, so let me cut out the shoulder slope and then the neckline. Then I'll go ahead and cut it on my fabric and then I'll be back to show you the next step. So I've gone ahead to do that and that one is gone. So the next thing I'm going to be doing now is just to open up my pattern paper and then for the neck depth for the front. So depending on how deep you would want your neckline to be, like just make sure you remember that you've already used the 1 inch for the back before taking your depth. If not, you're going to be running into a whole lot of problem. So placing my tape like so, I marked 7 inches because that would the depth that would my client would want. So I marked 7 inches like so. Just mark 7 inches like that. So just make sure that you have that 1 inch that you made use for the back up like so. So I'll come to the sides like that and then I'll be marking 2 inches like that because I don't want that side pointed. So I'll just go up by 2 inches. 2 inches is not a constant. You can make use of any inches that is okay by you. So now I'll be connecting from the already existing shoulder width, as you can see. Just do exactly what I'm doing and then you're going to be getting exactly what I got. So now just connect that to meet the 2 inches that I went up with and then okay, so I just had to flip that ruler because it was not given. So now I'll just connect it like so. Yes, so I've connected it like so. And then I'll be cutting out that other side because that other side is going to be very useless very soon. So we don't need that side that I'm cutting out right now. We only need the longer side. Imagine cutting this on directly on the fabric, you're going to be wasting your fabric. So I would advise that if you want to make the style, just make sure you have a paper handy so that you draft on it before cutting out on your main fabric. So now I'm going to be using this to cut out. I'm going to be placing my fabric on fold and then I'll be cutting this out because it's going to be 2 pieces. So I've already folded my fabric like so and then this is what I'm cutting out, as you can see. I had to do this in a fast forward mode so that we won't waste time. So I've cut this out. And so I've already drafted. If you know how to cut a basic skirt, that should be easy for you. You can see the way I did it there and I just cut that out. So the main emphasis, that was the back that I cut so that you would know that I used this same pattern paper to cut out for the back. So for the front piece where we have the wrap, from the waistline, this paper is not my actual length, so I'll be adding my actual length before cutting this. So I just came down by 2 inches from the waistline, and then for my client, she said she would want her own wrap to be in the middle. As you saw on the thumbnail, you can see that hers was on the side, but this is going to be in the middle. So I just came down by 20 inches from the waist area, and then I came to the, like, I'm going to be assuming that this is the length of my skirt, but this is not the length because I'll be placing this on my fabric and then add up the remaining length of my skirt. So now, right on the corner, like so, I'll just, if you don't want yours to be too open, like the one I'm trying to do now, like you want the exact one that is on the thumbnail, At the lower part of the skirt, just come in by between 5 to 7 inches is perfect before connecting from your waistline down to the length. I believe you understand what I'm saying. But for my client, she wants hers to be open. So that is why I'm going all the way to the side of the skirts. I believe I'm not confusing you. So let me just explain again. Like now I'm connecting, I came down by 2 inches from my waist, and then I'm connecting this, as in drawing that line to go and meet the edge of the length of my skirt, as in the edge at the end. As you can see that I got to the extreme end. But if you don't want yours to be too open like this, just come in from that end by between 5 to 7 inches should be okay before carving out your wrap, before carving that 2 inches from the waistline down to the length. I believe you understand. Yeah. So I'll bring up my fabric now and then lay this on it before cutting it out so that you would understand what I did. So let me just lay my fabric and then extend the length of the skirts before doing that. So I've gone ahead to do that. As you can see, I've extended the length, and then I'm cutting this out like so. I believe you understand what I did. So this is exactly what I was saying, because the length of the paper was short, so I had to add the extra. So I'm going to be cutting two of this, yeah, because my fabric was not enough. I had to improvise and cut out the other side before I got this. So this is what I have, and that is how it's going to be. So now for the sleeves, yeah, like I really managed this fabric because I didn't want my client to go and buy another material. But if you want your own sleeve to be more bogus than this, well, you can go ahead. But for mine, I just made use of my normal armhole, my client's normal armhole. I added like extra 3 inches because of the pleats on the shoulder area, and then I cut out the basic sleeve. Now for the round sleeve, I made it bigger. I made use of exactly my armhole for my round sleeve because that's how it's going to be. And then I've gone ahead to use bias strips to turn the upper part and then the lower parts. Of course, those places that will be visible, the neckline, and then where the pattern is going to be for the wrap. I've done that for both sides. So the two sides for the front with the half lengths are ready. So that's what I'm placing on each other like so. So you can see this is how it looks. So by the time you wear it, this is how you're going to be tying it. So I'm bringing the back now. I've used a bias to equally turn the neckline. If you don't know how to make use of a bias to turn your necklines, I already have a detailed tutorial on my channel on how to go about that. Even if you want to know how to cut a very good skirt, like a beginner, you don't know how to cut a basic skirt, please kindly check out on my channel. I already have detailed tutorial on how to do that as well. So now I'll just be placing the back on the front pieces, front sides facing each other, of course, and then I'll go ahead. So this is the neckline that I've used the bias for. So I'll just place them. I've inserted my darts as well. As you can see, I inserted the darts for the upper part and then the lower part because the back is going to be having a bump, so we want it to have some little bit of shape at the back. So like I told you, I didn't put any dart in the front. I didn't see that being necessary. So now I'll just go ahead and join it on my shoulders, front sides facing each other. I'll run off an inch on the shoulders to join them, and then for the sides I'm going to be taking 1 inch all the way down on both sides as well, because that was my sewing allowance. So I'm quickly going to be doing that, and then I'll be right back. So if you've watched up to this level and you have not yet subscribed, haba ogene kilode ejo, please kindly subscribe. Thank you. So let me just quickly do that and then I'll be right back. So I've already done that, and I've already fixed my sleeves. So for the tutorial for the sleeves, I'm going to be doing that separately. Yeah, because I didn't want this tutorial to be too lengthy. So I'm just going to be uploading the tutorial for the sleeves in the next 2 days. Yeah, I'm going to be, so I cut out my ropes. We all know how to do all this rope of it in. Just cut out 1.5 inches and then fold into two and then sew it all the way. So depending on the length you would want, just go for the length and then attach it at the tip of each wrap ends. And for one side of the wrap, one will be going in through the side seam. Just make sure you have put a little bit of a hole by the side seams where the rope can come out from. I've done several tutorials on how to do this because I have tutorials on wrap tops, like two already on the channel, so that is why I didn't bother to like recreate this part. Yeah, so I'm sorry. So just go check out those tutorials and you would understand. So this is how our gown came out to be. It's looking beautiful. OMG. My client loved this. She said, yeah, this is what I want and I want to look sexy. So thank you. I'll see you all on my next tutorial. It's Genius Signatures and I'm signing out. Bye.